Luke Shane and TV here with Chris Millington. So 1-1 draw. What are your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was quite an entertaining game. Always is, you know, sort of contrasting styles with us and Gateshead, and I thought largely, you know, an entertaining affair. Their possession style, you know, dropping us into our own half in the first half, and I thought our defensive structure was very good. Work rate and organisation excellent, and limited them to very little. And then in the second half, similar, just very disappointing to concede when we did. You know, we know the stats will tell you that, you know, Gateshead scored an awful lot of their goals first 15 minutes after half time, so we were prepared for that, but disappointing for a long ball to drop us low, then a mistake at the back to cost us. I think it's the first time Gateshead have scored against us in the last 6 games. Actually, we've got 5 clean sheets, consecutive clean sheets against them. So, you know, we wanted to maintain that run, and a disappointing way for that run to be broken. But then a positive response and a good finish from Scenes, and I think, you know, we had a few good chances today. We could have arguably been 2-0 up inside the first 4 minutes. There were 2 really good chances. But then as the game went on, and you know, we got a bit tired, got a bit more ragged, and Gateshead changed shape. We started to create a bit more, and you know, we hit them a couple of times on the counter to no avail. So probably a fair result all in all, you know, considering the 2 teams, the 2 styles that were going to come up against each other today, and then the balance of chances over the game. So I think we'll be pleased with a point against Gateshead come the end of the season, because again, I expect them to be right up there.
So Gateshead came here tonight, obviously off the back of a difficult weekend for them, got a positive result, but obviously the incident with Greg Ollie is obviously going to be on their mind quite a lot.
Yeah, I think so, and obviously they've got lads out tonight. I don't know if that's connected, but you know, we've always been great admirers of a number of their players, to be fair, but Greg Ollie is an outstanding footballer, and on the occasions when I've come into brief contact with him, he's always seemed like a real gent as well. So we wish him all the best, and I think it's worth going on record as saying how well Gateshead have dealt with a number of difficult situations in the last 12 months. I've got a great deal of respect for how well they've approached situations, and the dignity with which they approach this challenging situation. So yeah, we send Greg our best, and we hope that he recovers quickly.
Of course, though, on our own end, slightly more joyful scenes of Sam Johnson getting his 400th appearance.
Brilliant, what a lad! Yeah, he's great. He's such a fantastic player, and we spoke. We had a little presentation with him before the game in the team meeting, and you know, he's such a quiet, unassuming lad, but has such a positive influence on the group because of how he behaves and how he goes about his business, and the fact that he's committed his well, what I hope will be the majority of his career to Halifax Town, and just been so consistent in everything he's done. His approach doesn't get too high when we win, doesn't get too low when we lose, sets a really good tone for the group, and he's just an absolute pleasure to be around, and a real great help and support to me and the staff as well. So we're really lucky to have him, and we hope that he manages to maybe sink a pint or 2 in celebration.
Of course, obviously you were looking for a reaction, a much better performance from Saturday, and I think we certainly saw that this evening. Yeah,
a lot of individuals. We've had a lot of individual chats over the last few days. You know, I know that the club didn't put out the interview that we did after Saturday's game, and rightly so, because it was probably a little bit emotional at the time when we last spoke, Luke. So, you know, but we had some honest chats with a number of players yesterday. Went through some clips with individuals and highlighted things that have to be better, and they were better today. There was, I could list any number of players who improved markedly. So very pleased with that. I thought as the game grew on and we started to get a bit more composure, and maybe 1 or 2 players coming onto the pitch who had that little bit of composure on the ball, we started to show glimpses of what we want to be and how we want to how we want to be in possession, and hopefully as we get more and more bodies back, it'll just give us a little bit more freedom to move shape and move into being a better team on the ball as well as we are without it.
Relatively even first half, but we certainly tested the keeper more than Sam was ever worked.
Yeah, a couple of good chances very early on, like I said, and I think me and Coops are saying that you look at the Aldershot game on Saturday, they have one really clear, well, it wasn't even a clear-cut chance, a chance from the edge of the box, and they take it, and we had a couple of good chances in the box and failed to register early on, and if we score one of those or both of those, then it can arguably be a very different game. So it's where we're at the moment. We know we're probably not quite in the sort of shape we want to be in, really, and the lads who are playing are giving us everything, and it just maybe we've not quite got that blend of ability and technical ability, work rate and organisation. The blend isn't quite right at the moment, but that's partly to do with availability of players. So I'll give the lads every credit for what they're doing in terms of the response, and we'll take the point today. I think it's going to turn out to be a reasonable point.
Because as you mentioned, obviously the goal right at the start of the second half, not the way we would have wanted to start, but then a perfect response to that. It
was a good response. Really disappointing goal, and we've conceded now. You look at the 3 that we've conceded so far this season, and probably uncharacteristic really of us in terms of the mistakes that have led up to the goals, and that's a little bit of a focus for us, because of course Gateshead, phenomenal possession-based team, the rotations, the way they pick up different spaces, and you can see one moving in to prepare the space for the other, and it takes an awful lot of concentration and communication for the lads to be able to manage the shape around that, and they did that incredibly well. So then to be undone by a really sort of a bit of direct play, albeit practiced and coached bit of direct play, it's still disappointing, because we should be able to deal with that much better. We've conceded goals in the other 2 games again, which are uncharacteristic of us. So I'm certain that the lads will put that right. I've got no doubt about it that will those goals will begin to be cut out in the very near future. And as we start to develop the team and get some of those injured bodies back, I think we'll become much more of an attacking threat as well when we've got the ball. So listen, it's not ideal at the moment. We're not in the perfect position we want to be in, but we are in a place that gives us a lot of hope. And I think the fans are seeing that. We were saying in the office just a moment ago, the fans probably are pretty sort of clued up as to what a Halifax Town Gateshead match is like these days, and that's not dissimilar to a number of recent games where we've come out on the right end of the result. So the fans were great again today, and yeah, we're pleased.
Of course, up next, it's our first away game of the season down to Dagenham and Redbridge on Friday night.
That's right. I think that'll be another interesting game. I think the match we played second half of the season against them last season, they were very good. I thought they'd really started to click, and I know a number of the players are playing particularly well. They may not have got the result they wanted tonight, but a number of the players are playing particularly well, so we're going to have to be right on our mettle, and as the away team, we've got to be extremely well organised to make sure we do everything we can to keep a clean sheet. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We'll take a good strong squad down there, and we'll make sure we give them a good game.
Thank you.
Cheers, Luke.